A newbie at work said I'm not a gamer because I don't play COD. Later he finds out I'm his senior. I am not the OOP. OOP is you, Likawai Steam. A newbie at work said I'm not a gamer because I don't play COD. Later he finds out I'm his senior. Originally posted to our Girl Gamers. Thanks to you, Soe Herder, for suggesting this Bo Are You. Editor's note. COD stands for Call of Duty. Trigger warning. Sexism. Attempted gatekeeping. Less than. Original post January 6, 2022. Hey. So this has happened fairly recently. Just before the new year. And I find the entire situation hilariously funny. At my work I'm one of the senior members of the staff. Basically lower than a manager but higher than a team leader. I mainly specialize on a few specific systems, and a part of my job is to help people who have issues with them, and also I do a lot of quality control and working at the background on the said systems. It's also worth noting that possibly due to some black magic my ancestors practiced, everyone in my family look a fair bit younger than they really are. Nothing stupid like looking 30 at your 70. More like looking about 10-15 years younger than actually is, depending on the age. Me and my work friend were discussing Persona games. I was really excited about getting P5R from my BF for Xmas and been playing that a lot. My friend was saying how he couldn't really get into Persona games. He tried Persona 4 but it is just not his type of game. By the time the events happened we were still talking about games but moved on Horizon Zero Dawn. And how expensive the next game is. About £80. Now that's when one of the apprentices who joined recently hears us and decides to join the conversation. He says something along the lines that he plays games too and asks if I play COD. Now I don't like multiplayer games. They are simply not my cup of tea, and the maximum I can do is an occasional co-op game with people I know, but mostly I play single-player games. Of course I say no. I don't play COD as I don't really like it, and for me it feels a bit overrated. The apprentice loses his interest. Says that, maybe I'm not as much of a gamer as I want it to look like, and goes back to his training. Telling me I should do the same if I want to succeed. Instead of talking about anime games. I think he overheard bits about Persona. I let go of a small laugh and carry on with the conversation that I had before with my friend. About 2 hours later manager comes around as he wants to introduce the apprentices to the team properly. Of course he mentions the job titles. Now the poor soul finds out my name and the fact that I'm not an apprentice as he thought, but actually his senior who he has no chance of avoiding talking to whilst doing his job. His face turns red. His eyes are widening and I can see he is trying to figure out how to get out of this situation. But can't. I find the situation hilarious and just curious how this will play out. As he will have to talk to me at some point. Holidays pass and I had to pop to the office today to grab something and find Uncharted. The Nathan Drake collection on my desk and a message saying he wants to apologize for what he said. What do you think? Shall I forgive him or let him suffer from the awkwardness a bit more? P.S. Haven't played Uncharted games yet, if this makes any difference. Update January 19, 2022. Hey. I thought I'll give an update on this post. So last week I had some training scheduled with this guy to show him some advanced bits about the job. Everything went fine and I have thanked him for the game and decided to ask why he said what he did. I've also mentioned that I'm not here to judge him for liking COD. But he shouldn't be shaming people for not playing the games he likes. He has apologized again and it felt he needed to talk to someone about it. He has explained that he grew up playing Final Fantasy and Pokemon games and absolutely loved them. He also enjoyed single-player games like Uncharted, Tomb Raider and The Last of Us on console. However, when he started college his friends started making fun of him for enjoying single-player games and basically bullied him into believing that he can't be classed as a gamer if he doesn't play or like games like COD or Battlefield, and that gamers must like competitive games. He felt left out as his college buddies would only talk about COD, Battlefield, girls and parties, and felt the need to fit in. So over time he started adapting their beliefs. He even said he is not good at those games and mostly played them to talk to people and not to feel lonely. I've told him again he should never be ashamed for enjoying other games more, and that a lot of gamers prefer single player to multiplayer. He shouldn't stop playing games he likes because some kids think it's uncool, and that friends that bully people to get them to do something they want are not actually proper friends. He got the point, and my work colleague, who heard the initial exchanging, reached out to him as well, saying if he feels lonely or wants to try something different he can loan him some games to play, and he can always join his team in Rocket League if he needs a chat. So I guess it's a happy ending? This is a repost sub IAM, not the oop. COD is nothing. Try playing Wii Sports at a retirement home if you want to feel humbled in multiplayer. That is a true gamer test. My daughter was so deep into Wii Sports for a few years and that she did a report on her hobby, tennis. Her teacher was so impressed with her upper-class hobby. I didn't have the heart to tell them it was Wii. Ah, personal growth. Yay. Why is it always COD that turns people into gamer gatekeepers? I'd like to see them try Dark Souls or something and see how many times they kiss the floor. And how many controllers they break. You can't blame hacks or bad teammates when you die in a single-player game. It's all you. At least hardcore MMO players tolerate the casuals who fund their games, albeit with some disdain. This guy doesn't seem too bad, and hopefully at 17 he's learning at a good age. There does seem to be a whole gatekeeping thing with girl gamers in particular though. Guy says I play whatever. Okay, he's a gamer. Girl says it and they're asked to prove they're a real gamer. One of the things I love most about my partner is that he treats my gaming, which is of course all the cozies like Animal Crossing, Stardew and whatnot, as serious as his. He even got me a green and teal headset, but I don't play anything that requires talking to anyone. I have had guys tells me I'm not a real gamer, or that I'm posing as a girl gamer for attention because I don't play COD. You should see their faces when I tell them I am in fact a games designer. And I literally have a degree in games. I love games so much I made them my career. Wanna tell me again how I'm not a gamer? Games should be fun. Play what you enjoy. Speaking of, time to go back to my gas station. Gamers come in all varieties. I'm a 52-year-old woman. You'd never know that my first video game was Pong. I thought we were so cool for being one of the first to get it. Then Atari. Then I'd spend all my free time in our computer lab at school, which was one Commodore 64. I discovered Zork. Then arcades came out. I now love my PS5, Switch and Oculus, and I've had everything in between over the years. I think my proudest gaming moment was when I beat Earthworm Jim on Sega. Those developers had to be doing so many drugs to come up with that game. Lol. I find that multiplayer games make me too ragey and prefer the single player. I've never been a joiner anyway. People really frustrate me. Mario Kart is about the limit of my capacity for those games, and it still turns me into a trucker with Tourette's when I'm playing it. Gaming is not reserved for young males who only play certain games. Although try telling them that. The kid in this story learned a valuable and sorely needed life lesson. Every Counter-Strike player knows COD is for weenie babies who can't aim. Jokes aside, Competitive games are stressful at times when people want to unwind. A nice chill single-player game always does the trick. Don't try something like Cuphead or Elden Ring to chill. Anime games are also growing on popularity even in the West. Pokémon is an unstoppable franchise and Fortnite is probably the biggest streamed game of all time. In fact, COD surprisingly isn't even a top FPS game since CS:GO existed. Bullying someone for their choice of games just makes you a trashy person. Just like bullying someone for any harmless hobby. Hope he grows out of that phase since he had some growth. Hardcore and casual gaming were never about the games you play, but how you play them. These days, Call of Duty is a mindless shooter that people of all ages play to unwind after a long day of work or school. Meanwhile, search for Animal Crossing on any of the major relationship advice subreddits and you'll see just how that game was absolutely destroying lives back in 2020. He's coming of age just in time for Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield. So nice to read a wholesome BORU post every once in a while. I've told him again he should never be ashamed for enjoying other games more and that a lot of gamers prefer single player to multiplayer. The sad state of the gaming industry. Highly rated games are all multiplayer not because it's a good game. More like it's popular by design. Reviewer is breaking the gaming movie industry. If someone went out of their way to gift me a game they thought I'd like, he deliberately chose a single-player game with a decent story, I'd forget all about his comments. To me, that's one hell of an apology. He might have said the wrong thing, but everyone does that now and then. Good on him for having such a well-thought-out gift. And on apprentice wages, too. After his attitude in the first post, I would have said let him suffer in the embarrassment for a while before accepting the apology. But seeing he has already realized his mistake and is self-reflecting, I'd say OOP's decision is better. $10 says the guy would never have apologized if OOP was, in fact, of equal or lower status to him. I laughed too hard reading this. Gonna point it out there for the gamer gatekeepers. You look as moronic as what this guy was acting like and his mates were. You play a game, even just one game, you're a gamer. It's that simple. Stop being dicks to people wanting to enjoy our hobby, you numbskulls. Also props for this guy actually having some personal growth, and something tells me that the bribe worked on OOP. Lol. If anybody tried to gatekeep me this way, I'm old enough to basically go peeved. I was playing Pong in an actual video arcade before you were even a wasted opportunity to swallow. Real gamers play Wii Sports.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.